Thank you for joining our online CFE exam review course. This course is gonna be done over 4 weeks, and within 4 weeks, we are gonna guide you over everything you need for you to be able to prepare and pass the CFE exam. But before we start speaking about the CFE certificate, it's very important to understand what are the concepts that the Association of Certified Fraud Examiners started with more than 31 years ago. So they started with understanding what is the definition of fraud examination. So fraud examination is actually not science, is the technique that was created, is the methodology that was created by the Association of Certified Fraud Examiners for you to understand how can you handle fraud cases, how can you resolve allegation from fraud related to tips, complaints, and accounting clue from inception to disposition. So from the minute we hear that we have a fraud case until we actually solve everything, what we need to do related to documenting the evidence, related to conducting interview of the witnesses, about writing the investigation report, about testifying to the finding, and later helping the organization in implementing the right internal controls to ensure fraud will not happen. So when we are speaking about fraud examination, if you want to be a fraud examiner, you need to have certain skills. What are these skills? Number one, you need to understand the issue that lawyers they understand. You don't need to be a lawyer, but you need to understand what issues lawyers they have related to understanding the legal elements of fraud. How can you handle fraud cases by collecting the evidence in the proper legal way, by documenting the evidence in the proper legal way, by writing your fraud examination report in the right way. Also, you need to understand issues related to accounting. You don't need to be an accountant. You don't need to have accounting background, but you need to understand the different financial schemes that can happen. How fraud can happen in the payroll, how fraud can happen in the purchasing department, in sales, in financial department, in billing. So all the financial transactions that are happening inside the organization, how can someone manipulating the financial and accounting records? Also, you need to have investigation skills. You don't need to be an investigator, but you need to understand exactly what is the proper way of collecting the information. What is the proper way of documenting the information? What is the proper way of writing the fraud examination report? How can you conduct a proper interview with someone? How can you actually at the end go and testify to the findings? So you need to understand all these skills that fraud examiner they need to have for them to be able to carry effective fraud examination. And finally, you need to be criminologist. What's the meaning criminologist? You need to actually understand the science of crime, because at the end of the day, we need to help the organization in implementing internal controls, compliance program, ethics programs, risk management programs related to fraud to ensure that fraud will not happen in the future. So if we can figure out the proper culture inside the organization, that will reduce pressure. If we can figure out the proper internal control and risk management, that will actually reduce the opportunity of fraud. And we create the proper environment where employees are not going to rationalize their behavior, we will be able to reduce the amount of fraud happening inside the organization. So these are the actual things that Association of Certified Fraud Examiners say that you need to have, you need to acquire for you to be certified fraud examiner. And this is why they created the CFE, Certified Fraud Examiner Certificate. And this certificate is covering all these issues. It's covering these issues over 4 parts. So we have 4 parts in the exam. For every part, you have 100 questions for 2 hours. So you have 1 part related to fraud prevention and deterrence. You have 1 part related to financial transaction. You have 1 part related to fraud investigation and legal elements of fraud. Every section, you have 2 hours exam. The exam can be done online from your laptop anywhere, anytime you want. So you have a span of 1 year to take the exam, and you can take them in any order you want. So it's up to you to decide how you are going to take it. But I'm going to explain to you what is the proper order that we recommend actually when you are studying for that. What is the proper way for you to take it? So everyone is actually, you have 2 hours, you have 100 questions, and you need to complete them. There are no bad marking in case you get it wrong, but you need to score 75% for you to be able to pass the exam. Now, these subjects are covered with inside the fraud examiner's manual created by the Association of Certified Fraud Examiners, 2,000 pages plus. Now, some of you, I know that actually you are saying, oh my God, we are going to study all that. No, don't worry. We are not going to study all that. We have created for you a very nice document. Actually, not me, the Association of Certified Fraud Examiner created that, which is we have 75 pages summarizing every part of the exam. So you don't have to study everything. You only need to study these 75 pages. And these 75 pages are actually focusing on the core concept that they are going to test you on in the exam. So you don't need to read these 2,000 plus pages, but you have access to it in your account. You can use it as a reference. What are we going to cover in the class? The upcoming class that we have starting from June 7 to July 1st is going to be actually over 4 weeks. And we believe, based on our experience, that this is the proper format of delivering any class online, because it will give you enough time for you to attend the classes over a short period of time. You'll be able to actually then go review the questions, and then finally you'll be able to go and take the exam over the weekend. So our strategy is the following. You are going to attend the class during the week. So every week we have 3 days, except for the financial, we have 4 days. But every week we have 3 days. These days we have the classes done in the evening. So we have them from 7 p.m. until 9 p.m. in Dubai time, and we have them from 11 p.m. until 1 a.m. in Malaysia time. I know for Malaysia or for Asian, it's not the best time, but maybe at that time you are free to attend it. Now, look what's going to happen. Every day we are going to cover these subjects, and this is our final schedule. So every day we cover these subjects, and then you are going to go to the CFE prep course, and you are going to go and answer the questions for the subjects. Then we come to the next class, we cover more subjects. Then by Friday or Saturday, you are going to go and take the exam. So Friday, Saturday, you come take the exam. Sunday, we start again, and we continue in this process. Based on my experience in our last class, that this is a very effective way for you to be able to prepare and pass the CFE exam with no issue within 4 weeks. And this is how we are going to start with it. We are going to start with the investigation. Then we are going to go to the financial. Then we are going to be speaking about laws related to fraud. Then we are going to speak about fraud prevention and deterrence. So this is the order of the class. My belief, if you follow everything I'm saying, by July 1st, you will be certified. So that's the whole idea. That's the whole structure of the class. Now, it's very important for you to understand what you have paid for, what is included in your package, so you can use the maximum and take the maximum advantage of it. You have actually registered for the online class. So with the online class, you are going to get 1 year membership. We have paid for your CFE exam fees. We have paid for your CFE exam prep course. We have actually paid for your practice exam, where you are going to practice inside the CFE prep course. You have money back guarantee. If you follow all our steps and you fail, you can get your money back. You have access to the flashcard. You actually can go to your Android or Apple store, and you can download the flashcard for you to study on your mobile. You have actually access to the fraud examination manual online in your account. You have actually access to the CFE study guide. This is the book that you need to study from for you to be able to pass the exam, which is the 75 pages that we discussed. And you are going to attend the class with me over 4 weeks. And you are going to have live classes with me, 2 hours for 3 days a week. And you are going to pass the exam within 4 weeks. It's guaranteed by OpenThinking. If you follow all our steps, that you will pass the exam within 4 weeks. That's our guarantee. We have an experience with our delegates. Usually, if you attend our live classes, within 5 days, you'll be certified. Can you imagine 5 days? So what about now you are actually taking the class over 4 weeks? So you have more time to study for it. And the good news that actually currently the price is discounted 50%. So you have actually 50% for you to actually attend the class with us, which is great. Now, I highly always recommend you to be certified fraud examiners. Why? Because this is a global standard certification in fraud examination. It's the best certificate in the world when you are speaking about conducting fraud examination and investigation. And let's watch this video that will summarize this concept. So in that way you can get an idea of what we are speaking about. Let me get the video, just a second.
The WorldCom and Madoff cases are 2 of the largest frauds in the 21st century. Both of them, and many, many more, were uncovered by certified fraud examiners like Harry Margolis.
By applying solid fraud examination skills, I quickly discovered that Bernie Madoff was running a multi-billion-dollar Ponzi scheme.
As a certified fraud examiner, also known as a CFE, Markopoulos learned those anti-fraud skills when he passed the CFE exam. He is just one of many who have earned this globally recognized credential.
I am proud to be a certified fraud examiner. By obtaining the credential, it demonstrates your expertise at catching bad guys.
The CFE credential denotes proven expertise in fraud prevention, detection, and deterrence. Because occupational fraud does not discriminate, all departments within an organization are vulnerable.
I would recommend becoming a certified fraud examiner because the information that you learn and the opportunities to get information are very helpful in applying those to your job duties.
Joining the ACFE as an associate member is the first step. All members enjoy many benefits: access to the latest anti-fraud training and education, unparalleled network, exclusive articles and reports, a subscription to Fraud Magazine, and more. For both certified and associate members, it brings your anti-fraud knowledge to a new level.
The benefits of being involved with the ACFE and having my credential have just really helped me, one, within my own job, being able to apply the information that I've learned through the ACFE. It's allowed me to do a better job within my organization, and also allowed me to have opportunities for moving up within my organization.
Certified fraud examiners earn 25% more than their non-certified colleagues. The CFE credential enhances your marketability and job security. It also helps advance your career. 75% of Fortune 500 companies employ CFEs, and the certification is recognized for hiring and promotional purposes by law enforcement agencies around the world, including the FBI, the US Secret Service, the Western Australia Police, the City of London Police, and the US Securities and Exchange Commission. Additionally, there are more than 140 local chapters worldwide.
The CFE credential has taken and brought me a lot of benefits from personal investigations and getting into different areas and understanding the criminology side of it, the law side of it, and the finance side of it.
Once you join the ACFE, you may be eligible to begin studying for the CFE exam. Upon passing the exam and earning their credential, CFEs are armed with a solid understanding of fraud prevention and detection, making them the watchdogs of a successful organization.
I've come across a number of investigators over the years that can do a certain part of an investigation very well, but they lack certain qualities. And even when I started, it's good to have a good understanding of what needs to go together for an investigation.
The CFE credential does just that. As ACFE founder and chairman Dr. Joseph T. Wells imagined in 1988, the world needed a new kind of corporate cop. People who not only know how to investigate a white-collar crime, but also how to prove it. By passing the CFE exam and maintaining their membership requirements, anti-fraud professionals walk away with a well-rounded knowledge base comprised of fraud prevention and deterrence, fraudulent financial transactions, fraud investigation, and legal elements of fraud.
CFE candidates can study directly from the Fraud Examiner's Manual, or they can purchase the computerized prep course. I used both in my preparation for the CFE exam, and I highly recommend them to you.
CFEs are fighting fraud in more than 150 nations, helping to make the world a better place. Become a certified fraud examiner today and change your career, your company, and the global economy. Find out if you qualify for membership by visiting acfe.com/CFE. I'm Stacy Keach with the Association of Certified Fraud Examiners.
So we can see that the CFE is the gold standard in fraud examination. And not only that, if you are actually trying to become certified fraud examiner, based on the current 2020 compensation guide by ACFE, you are going to earn not 21, 34% even. And if you are in Middle East or if you are in Africa, even you are going to earn higher. Why? Because they are looking for individuals who got this qualification to assure them that when they are going to carry out investigation, they are going to do it based on the best global standards. And if you are working in a consulting firm like PwC, KPMG, or Ernst and Young, they will in that way give assurance to your clients that you know exactly what you are doing and you can actually charge them more premium for the services you are doing. So far, we have been with ACFE for more than 5 years. We have conducted more than 50 CFE exam review courses, and most of them, they were actually live courses. They were not online. This is the second CFE courses that we are doing online. But so far, over the last 5 years, we have more than 700 professionals who passed the CFE exam with us. And we are hoping that you are going to do the same. Just to share with you our experience over the last course, we have conducted a CFE exam review over 4 weeks. We started in the mid of April and we finished in the mid of May. And it was a very effective class. We have, and I'm so proud that my students, we have more than 70 plus delegates, they actually passed the CFE exam with us over the 4 weeks that we have conducted our class last month. And I'm hoping that you are going to join us in this class and you are going to, write another success story with us.